the last section, we learned to report a festival celebration event. After reading the news, would you like to take part in such events? Or further, do you want to know how to plan such an event and how to make sure it goes as planned? The ability to organize events is expected in everyone, from the class meeting, the welcome party, the theater festival at school, to the client appreciation meeting, the professional symposium, and the year-end banquet at work. We may have a chance to hold events on different occasions. Join our workshop in this section to become a competent organizer. While we can't identify all of the details, since many of them will depend on the exact type of event to be held, we can suggest some best practices that are important to follow for the planning of any event. Here, we will first help clarify the procedures for the planner to follow step by step. We will also prepare you a checklist for direct use so that you won't worry about missing anything in chaos. In this process, we will set an example by planning a festival celebration event. Actions speak louder than words. Let's get down to business. To plan an event methodically, we've first located 5 key event planning steps. Step 1. Preparation. Look back and forward. Step 2. Planning. Plan the essentials. Step 3. Promotion. Put all media outlets to work. Step 4. Practice. Implement the plan. Step 5. Performance evaluation. Wrap up. This 5-piece guide provides a starting point for our event planning. Without further ado, we're going to apply it into practice. The women around the world used to celebrate International Women's Day on March 8. For those who are not ready to identify themselves as women, nor to give up their gender advantages, Girls' Day, just one day before the Women's Day, comes right after their own heart. Riding this wave, the university campuses are seeing assorted events targeting at this particular group on the arrival of Girls' Day. Then, what kind of events would draw the attention of the girls on campus? What are the topics of their concern? Step 1. Preparation. Look back and forward. First, review the past events. It is advisable to take some time to look back at the similar events held before or get a chance to talk to the organizers. This will help you build your learning curve more effectively and save detours. What works? What needs to be avoided this time? Second, decide on the event's nature. Then you set off to establish tangible goals. Start by asking yourself, why are you organizing this event? And what do you hope to achieve? Are you trying to raise awareness for a cause or collect a predetermined amount of donations for your next project? Are you hoping to attract 50 guests or 500? What kind of event is it? What's the goal? What's the theme? You can also design a questionnaire or do some surveys in this step to set quantifiable metrics of success, which will make it easier to reach your goal and ensure that every part of the event is optimized for success. After a brief review of the past events and a small-scale survey, we come up with a list of themes that girls find intriguing. What comes top is about their own security. Apparently, the girls would like to be empowered to defend themselves. In this case, a self-defense class seems to be a good idea to teach the girls some practical defensive tactics to protect themselves in emergency. Event: Women's Self-Defense Class. And we further subdivide the girl into 3 specific sections for the corresponding activity arrangements. First, to raise the college girls' awareness of potential threats in life. Second, to help them build a strong mind against harassment, molestation, or violence. Third, to teach them effective ways to respond and self-defense tactics to fight back. Step 2. Planning. Plan the essentials. Once the theme is pinned down, the planning comes in the fast lane. Several essential points need to be settled. First, create a checklist. Before starting the real plan, set the date and the timeline associated with your event, and create your own checklist covering all key issues. This will allow you to ensure every aspect remains on track and help coordinate each department of the team. The checklist usually encompasses such aspects of the event, including where, who, what, and how. Since the Girls' Day self-defense class is rather a small-scale event of a relatively simple form, some of the work could be grouped together to be assigned to one department or even an individual person. The key issues concerned can be thus identified as follows. While planning your event, consider also creating a detailed timeline so that everything could move smoothly. Include information like when any applications need to be submitted, any issues need to be confirmed or double-checked, when registration ends, and so forth. Second, identify the key players. Any event takes a concerted team effort to handle all the details. Consider identifying one key event manager or event chair, as well as individual chairpersons for subcommittees. In addition, assigning individual roles to team members creates a system of accountability, as well as preventing tasks from falling to the wayside. For our self-defense class, we would launch the registration on a first-come, first-served basis and control the number of attendees within 45. Accordingly, we build a small but effective team with a clear division of responsibility. To create a truly unforgettable experience, you will need support from your executive team all the way to your on-site staff and volunteers. For grand events like a music festival, a marathon race, or a charity gala, always set aside the professionals for emergency treatment. Third, set the budget. To ensure that the great ideas fall into place, take the budget into consideration before any action. Once respective responsibilities are clarified, each department could estimate costs and make their own budget. Do remember to delegate a specific team or person in charge of all the financial issues, to budget the event, and keep track of the expenses. Even if some of these items aren't fixed costs yet, for example, if you haven't yet picked a venue, it's important to keep the maximum that you can afford to spend in mind before making those decisions. At the same time, think about this. Are there organizations that you could partner with or call on for sponsorships to defray the costs and increase potential participation? it is not necessarily all about money. For the self-defense class, see if there are local sports brands to provide the necessary mats or pads. Plus, when you involve other people or groups in your event, they have a stake in helping spread the word and making the event a success. The more, the merrier, right? Step 3. Promotion. Put all media outlets to work. First, promote. Even with the most amazing speaker or entertainment lineup, you need publicity to get people in the door. Successful event promotion starts with branding. Usually, 2 things are inevitable: a memorable branding slogan that describes the event, as well as a carefully crafted logo to represent the event, offering immediate recognition of your event in all your publicity and promo items. For the publicity campaign running throughout the event, both online and offline strategies would prove workable. In a word, make sure all sorts of media outlets and social communities to spread the word out. Back to the self-defense class. As this is an event facing all college students, we could put up posters on the campus message board, set up roll-up banners in front of the dining hall, or give out flyers around the student dorms. Pick up the most populous areas on campus to draw attention. And do remember to put the event QR code on all print materials, so as to usher the students into the online community. The online publicity could reach out to more. Take advantage of the social media. Release the news from the university's official account. Send out the digital invitation for registration. Trigger relevant topics by inviting students to take part in the online survey or the spontaneous interview. And if possible, shoot short videos on the subject. The ultimate goal is to lure the message receivers into the online community and convert the hits into registrations. But the registration doesn't guarantee the person will show up. That's why maintenance matters. Second, keep the community active. Once a small online community of the attendees is built, keep it active by sending out newsletters, notification messages, and reminders, so as to keep the attendees updated and remind them as the date of the event approaches. Another effective measure to encourage attendance is to promise a game. Small gifts and prizes will just do as temptatious baits. Now we have put through the toughest stages. It is time to implement the plan. Step 4. Practice. Implement the plan. If you have planned everything beforehand, you have nothing to worry about. To this point, it is only about execution. What call for special attention are: first, do a test run. Review the schedule and double-check every link. In particular, check out the venue and make sure everything is set up. Second, don't panic. Keep a list of important contact numbers on hand, predict the hidden perils, and prepare an emergency response plan. In our case of the self-defense class, the most likely risks could be the injuries caused by the practice. Therefore, we need to, first, double-check with the coach the defensive tactics to be taught and the precautionary measures to be taken. Second, Spread the exercise mat on the floor and put in place enough knee and elbow pads. Third, prepare the first aid kit for emergency treatment. Then, you can put your mind at rest and expect the smooth flow of the event. When the dust settles, no hurry to dismiss the team immediately. There are 2 more things to do for a good wrap-up. Step 5. Performance evaluation. Wrap up. We've all learned this idiom before. All is well that ends well. To end well, we'd better first evaluate the performance. Collect the feedback on site by doing some interviews or hear from the attendees in the online community. In a time that traffic counts, this is the source of your traffic. Also, talk to your staff members and volunteers. Exchange your ideas on the course of the event and jot down all the lessons learned and experiences accumulated. Revisit the sponsors, express your gratitude and the willingness to keep in touch. All this contribute to your intangible assets. Second, the last step, report the event. After you collect all the information and photos needed, recap the event to public as a perfect stop. We happen to learn the news writing in our last section, right? Alright, also time for our workshop to wrap up. There could be thousands of things to attend to when planning an event. This mind map will help you sort out order from the mess. Focus on the 5 P's: preparation, planning, promotion, practice, and performance evaluation. Then, nothing will stand in your way to a successful event. Now, it is your showtime.